Hi, my name's Hilary, and my Flow Hive is in San Diego, California. Yeah, when I started keeping bees, I started noticing what's blooming, what are the bees on, what are these other bees, these native bees, and I started learning about all the different flower names, all the different native bee names. I'm paying attention to the climate a lot more. I'm noticing the weather patterns a lot more. I'm just way more in tune with everything that's going on because I'm thinking about my bees all the time. There's two kinds of people. There's people who just jump into it without understanding anything, and then they have to retroactively figure out what they're doing. And there's the people who go overboard researching and take forever to get their bees and are very worried parents almost. It's like you want to be somewhere in the middle of that. You don't want to wait forever to get your bees because that's when you start learning, but you do need to do a little research beforehand. Well, I do think people need to know to listen to their bees because I think a lot of the books kind of gear you in a different direction. They kind of put everything in the beekeeper's perspective. They don't teach people to think from the bee's perspective as much. And also just take everything that you read and hear with a grain of salt because in the end, it's really going to be your own journey. You're going to find something that works for you. You're going to fail. You're going to come back. So you just have a good attitude and try to learn from your mistakes. Of course, you want to try and do research. If you can get a mentor, that's great, but you don't have to pick up a book and follow everything that person says or pick one mentor and listen to everything they say. You really have this intuition when you're beekeeping that you develop as you get further into it, and I think people don't listen to those voices, and that's when they do things wrong in their hives, and some people maybe don't hear that voice. The more you learn about bees and how they live, the more you can kind of foster hearing that voice. The reaction that the Flow Hive got. And I have to say that I was among the people in the beginning who thought, this is like a hoax, what is this? So actually seeing it in person and seeing it work, and then you realize it's actually just a really great invention and that it could be very useful for harvesting the honey. And so I think a lot of the sentiment that got attached to the Flow Hive was really more about the wave of new beekeepers that it brought on. And that's a source of frustration for experienced beekeepers. The people that I have met have been really engaged and wanting to learn, and they got Flow Hives and they went out and got other kinds of hives, and it's sort of silly that a lot of the reaction to it, I think it was more about the people and less about the actual hive design. Honey harvesting is such a pain, and it's a tremendous amount of work, and it makes a huge mess. It's very disruptive to the bees. It's a kind of a disaster. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you plan, you just end up with, honey everywhere. So to actually just have it pour out of the side of the hive into a jar and skip all of that mess is amazing. There's always this adventure. You never know what's gonna happen. I love that about what I do, that every day is an adventure. The bees always surprise you. You have to think on your feet. You're doing problem solving. You get to play in the dirt and be dirty and be sweaty and not care how you look so much, and it's fun. It takes a lot of weight off of life, and if you go back to that happy place of playing in the dirt with a bunch of insects, and I think not a lot of people get to do that. People forget how that feels, and even if you're just a hobbyist, you're only doing this once a month for a couple of hours, it connects you, it takes you back to that place, it connects you more to your environment and life in general, and I think it makes people happy. It's like a therapy. I mean, have you ever listened to surfers talk about catching waves, and they're very they go into this zen. It's like a meditation for them. That's how I feel with bees. I mean, all of us sitting down there right now playing with bees for an hour with that swarm, and it was just that's the most magical thing.
How cool was that? We've got lots of sweet stories coming up each week, so if you want to be up to date, hit the subscribe button below.